In this video, I will demonstrate how to analyze data with a pivot table. Here I have a sample. I have a data set with my customers, discount amount, date, and discount type. I converted it into pivot table so I can see what type of discount was given to the customer. There's a list of them in the slicer, from active military, first responders, nonprofit, seniors discounts, and veterans discount, and then the years that it was discounted. And I could clear this one so I could see it all, or select multiple discounts to view. I'll select active military and first responders. And I can see with the years, we just filter more by 2020. You can see in total I have 17 discounts for active military and first responders. So what I will do here is I'll ensure that the data is the way I want it formatted. So you can see date is when I copied it over. Doesn't look like the date format. So I'll go to home. I'll hover over here. I'll select short date. And that was formatted. And then the amounts, I'll highlight the column, select the whole column, and you can either do the accounting, and then there's also currency right here. And then accounting was just like move the dollar sign in a fixed left side. Okay, so we'll do the pivot table first, and then we'll move on to the slicers. So select anywhere in the data, not outside. Go to the insert tab, select pivot table, and it selected the entire pivot table for me. Now, where do you want the pivot table to be? You can either select a new sheet, but for demonstrating, I would select the existing worksheet, and the location, I'll just select F1. Click OK. Here, we're going to select the first date that you would want to do, especially if it's going to be by date, is dragging your date to the rows. What Excel does is they group it by year, quarters, or dates. So you could view this. Let's right click anywhere on the pivot table, hover over expand and collapse, and expand entire field. And then again under the quarters, and expand those. Expand entire field. So see, Excel, what it automatically did was it group it by year and by quarter, because we already had the dates. So we'll remove this from here because we don't want it to be specifically by date or quarter. We just want to see it by year. So remove date and remove quarters. And now we just have all the years. Next thing we want to do is drag down our discount type. So right here, discount type, so we can see it. And then we will have, if you want, account, and drag it onto the values. And now we see it gave us all the count. Right now it is subtotaling each customer by amount. By year. So what we'll do is right click and then remove this subtotal by years. Just select it, check it off. And then drag in amounts, the discount amount. And now we can see we have the count and amount. So now you can select insert slicer. Make sure that your cell is selected anywhere inside the pivot table in order to have this pivot table tools come up, and then select insert slicer. So what we want to see is this discount type and the year. So this is what we want to filter it by. Like, okay. I'm just going to drag it over so we can see it better. Just minimize this. So now you can select any type of discount type. So that's veterans, there's senior. But what I want to do is select, let's view two types of discounts, senior and veterans. And ensure that you have to, on your keyboard, select or hold down the control. While holding down the control, click and on a filter, and then to unselect it and keep these two, hold control again on your keyboard and then unselect nonprofit. And to view this in a more condensed way, I'm also going to filter it by year. So I just want to see what was discounted on the year 2020 and 2019. Again, that's control, hold control. And now I see I have 57 in total. And compared to last year, I have 16 currently discounted, and last year was 18. So now we will be cleaning this up, just so it could be more presentable. I could look just a little bit more like this tab. So I first started off with the table I have here. To format this, go to Insert, a table. My table does have headers, and again, I selected a cell anywhere inside the table. That way you can select all, and then click OK. And from here, you can select a design, and there's different types of designs. What I did, at first I selected, I believe it was this one. Wasn't that one? This one. And then I right click, duplicate it, and then you could you could customize it by formatting anything in the table. So just cancel that because I already have the one I made earlier. So that's how I cleaned up the table. And for these grid lines to go away, you go to the View tab and uncheck the grid lines. So then remove the buttons by selecting the buttons here. And you could also take this away for now. If you want it back up, you just select here. So now it's not showing up anymore. And then go to the Design tab. And same thing with the table. I selected a design. I believe it was this one. Yeah. And then again, I right click and then duplicate it, and it did my formatting. So I have my customized one right there. And also you could do, if you want the same one every time you make a pivot table, right click it and set as default. So let's go back to the first one. In order for it to be side by side, like this view, you can also go to Design and Report Layout and select Show in Tabular Form. And now I have it side by side instead of stacked on top of each other. So now I'll clean these up. Let's go back. Let's bring up the field list again. And on your values, which is showing right here, you want to right click it. Click the field and value field settings. In the value field settings, you can customize the name. This is a count, so I'll keep it as count. And then count could stay like that. If you know you have thousands values, you want to format your numbers as well. And select number, and this is so you could have the thousand separators, and not necessarily, because it's just a count, you don't want the decimal places. So I'll just leave that to 0 and click OK. So we did the number formatting and the count is selected. Click OK. And we'll do the same thing with the amount. So we know that we want this as a currency value for accounting, where the $ is fixed to the left. So click on the field, click on value field settings. We'll rename this amount, keep it as sum, is a sum of what we've filtered, and the number format, and we'll select, just to match this one, we'll select accounting, and we'll keep the 2 decimal places and the symbol as a $. Click OK. OK, and now you see it's formatted.